Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Living Beyond Limits and our Sunday service. So glad that you joined us this morning and that you came to share your morning with us. And for those of you who are joining us online, welcome also. We're so glad that you're joining us for our online service. We are Living Beyond Limits, a Center for Spiritual Living, and I am Reverend Jennifer Spear. And so let's begin this service by reading our mission statement that's on the front of the bulletin. We are a sanctuary where people can discover and reveal the presence of God within their own being and experience their oneness with all life. Through the realization of this inner presence of love and peace, we give way to the evolutionary impulse of the divine and become a beneficial presence in the world. So that's what we are up to here at Living Beyond Limits, is we are awakening to the fact that that divine presence, that infinite one, the living spirit, is within us, that it is absolutely around us at all times, that it fills our lives, that it fills every moment of time, that it fills everything with its beingness, and that some of the ways that it expresses within us are as peace and as love and as the truth of our own wholeness and our own power. Because what happens is, as we wake up to and own that fact that spirit is within us and all of those qualities and characteristics of that infinite one, the creativity and the intelligence and the wisdom and all of those things, that then we don't get so stuck. When we're out in the world and the world is not reflecting back to us love or kindness or generosity, we aren't reliant on getting it from out there. Instead, we can be the ones that are catalysts for change. We can be the ones that act as a beneficial presence by tapping into, say, the love or the peace, or standing in our own power or our own wholeness, or listening to the wisdom of our own spirit and allowing that to guide us in the world. And as we do that, we absolutely act as a beneficial presence, because we come from a different place when we do that. And so I thank every single one of you for answering the call of your own spirit to be walking this path, to be bringing that presence into this world in a way that is beneficial to you and to everyone on this planet, because we are all part of the whole and we are all connected to one another. So thank you for that. And so on platform with me this morning is our practitioner, Barbara Conant. She's going to lead us in an evocation and do a contemplative reading for us. And Harold Payne, our wonderful and beloved Harold Payne, is with us today. He's going to lead us in singing the prayer chant that he and I wrote together, I Open Up. And I invite you to let that just kind of help you settle into yourself. You can sing along if you want. The words are on the wall, or just listen and go within. But I invite you just to begin to kind of settle into yourself. Finding that place within you of beingness rather than doingness. And to just become present.
In the stillness, in the silence, I feel the sacred surrounding me, and I surrender to this moment. I open up and I find peace. silence. I feel the love inside of me. And I surrender to this moment. I open up and I find peace. Let my soul speak with each heartbeat. Every breath I take, in the stillness, in the silence, I feel the light inside of me. And I surrender to this moment. I open up and I find peace. Let my soul speak with each heartbeat. Every breath I take, in the stillness, in the silence, I feel Spirit surrounding me. And I surrender to this moment. I open up and I find peace. I open up and I find me.
I am aware only of this moment and move my thoughts within to a center in my source of love and peace and wisdom. The wisdom of the omnipresence is all around us, and it is present in the now, and it is the real part of who we are. The omnipresence is expressed as the light of Source, which adds vitality to all of our actions and activities. It focuses its love into our emotions and feelings to give us greater compassion in our interactions with others. It focuses knowledge into our minds to give us more insight and understanding to all situations that life presents to us. And as we become more aware of our inner source, we become a joyful expression of the love and peace in our life. And with these experiences, I recognize we are a reflection of the all good of life. I bless our time together. I bless Reverend Jennifer and her talk that supports us in our life to live in love and peace. I bless Harold. I bless Living Beyond Limits and all people everywhere. And so it is. Good morning, everyone. My reading today is from 365 Days of Richer Living by Ernest Holmes and Raymond Charles Barker. Surrounded by good, I walk this day in peace. The mind and love of God support me in every decision I make and in everything I do. It is impossible to escape the presence of God. So it is impossible to lack for any good thing. All that God is mine this day. It supports me, it enfolds me, and I feel this eternal presence of love. The mind and law are mine to use today. They will produce for me any sincere desires, for they create what I choose to think. So I turn thought to God and give thanks and accept my good from God. I feel the joy in my heart and thinking and know I am living according to truth. I am encircled with this truth. I walk in the presence of God. I work with the power, intelligence, and joy of divine mind. Everything blesses me, and I bless everything. I cannot fail, for God created me and acts through me. My word is the law unto my universe, and I speak words of truth. Sustained at every moment by love, I live in peace, work in joy, and relax in beauty. And all is well with my soul. And so it is.
This song is one I co-wrote with my friend Jody Siegel. It was inspired by that great philosopher, Trader Joe. I'm a fearless flyer, I'm a wind rider, I am all I need to be. In the pouring rain of a hurricane, I am flying fearlessly. I am the rose of winter, blooming in the snow, reaching for the sky above from the earth below, growing from a tiny seed, awakening these dreams, believing in the miracle of spring. I'm a fearless flyer, I'm a wind rider, I am all I need to be. In the pouring rain of a hurricane, I am flying fearlessly. Standing on a mountaintop, take a leap of faith, knowing it's a moment that cannot wait, rolling with the changing current, dancing with the breeze, as inspiration carries me where my soul is meant to be. I'm a fearless flyer, I'm a wind rider, I am all I need to be. In the pouring rain of a hurricane, I am flying fearlessly. shadows grow long. Just like the shining sun, I'm rising with the dawn. I'm a fearless flyer, I'm a wind rider. I am all I need to be. In the pouring rain of a hurricane, I am flying fearlessly. I am flying fearlessly. Thank you.
Thank you, Harold. That was great. A fearless flyer. Well, happy holidays, everyone. Have you started getting ready yet for the holidays? Oh, yeah? Some yes. I actually decorated my mantle already, and it's so fun to have it all lit up, but I love it. And I brought some decorations down and did some in the house, and I went shopping last week and bought some presents. And we actually went out last night looking at Christmas lights driving around. And I have so enjoyed every single bit of it that I've done so far. It's been super fun. So have you enjoyed the parts that you've done so far? Yeah? You know, I think the holidays can be so much fun, and they can be so magical with the music that we hear, listen to, and the songs that we sing that we've been singing like through our entire lives since we were little kids. And the decorations that are everywhere you look. Seems like right now you go to any store, you go to the mall, or you see people's houses lit up and their yards decorated. To even, baking and making cookies and then giving them to the people that we love. All of it is so much fun. I think the holidays can be really heartwarming, and they can fill us with love and with gratitude and with joy. And I think we also know that this holiday season and all that it entails can be overwhelming, and it can be overtaxing. We can feel like we are just rushing around and end up feeling exhausted by it. There's so many things to do oftentimes on our list that we spend our time rushing from one thing to the next just in order to check it off our list. We want to enjoy the holiday season. We want the holiday season to be joyful, and we want to have fun. And not just do we want to be joyful and have fun, but we also want to be able to move through that holiday season with a sense of peace and a sense of well-being as we move through the holidays, not harried and harassed all the time. We want to move through this holiday season where we actually feel nurtured inside, where we feel like we are being fed and filled up by the things that we experience and by the things that we are doing. We want to feel our spirit as we move through this season. We want our spirit to be fed during this season that holds so much potential and holds so much love and so much light. We want to experience a holiday season where we feel connected to spirit and connected to our own spirits and connected to our own inner beingness. And so I think the problem really is, if that's not what we're experiencing, the problem is really then that in that busyness, we are practicing mindlessness rather than mindfulness. We have this list of things to do, and we are just pushing ourselves to get through it. And sometimes even on that list, there's some shoulds of things that we're doing that we don't even really want to do, things that aren't really even important to us. I think the real problem in that is really that we don't take the time to stop and to get quiet and to listen within to what's important to our hearts and our spirits. we don't take that time to listen in here, rather than letting our heart lead us, and rather than letting our spirit lead us in what it is that we are doing, we listen to that taskmaster back here. Does anyone have an inner taskmaster? I have one, absolutely. Ernest Holmes says, if we have a choice to make and we feel we do not know which or what to choose, we must be still in our own consciousness and know that the Spirit within us knows which of these ways is right and will guide us. When we listen within to the Spirit within us, to our own spirit, it will always guide us into that which is fulfilling and that which is satisfying and that which is joyful and love-filled, always if we listen to that. That inner spirit will always guide us. Ernest Holmes also said, travelers crossing the desert, covered with dust and filled with weariness, seek the refreshment of an oasis. The shelter of a rock in a weary land, the cool shade of a spreading palm. So we, with mind weary from confusion and exhausted with too much effort and too much to do, should seek a spiritual oasis, an inner communion with the invisible presence. We discover that oasis when we commune with our own spirit, when we get quiet and listen to our own inner beingness. We discover that oasis when we take time to commune with that divine presence within us. And as we listen to it, it will guide us. It will guide us to find rest stops and respites along the way that help keep our souls nourished. You don't have to go to Hawaii in order to experience ease and peace and calm this holiday season. You don't have to go to Hawaii in order to feel like you're being nourished and fed. Instead, what you have to do is to make the decision and set the intention to actually listen within to what's valuable. Listen within to what your heart and your spirit want to be doing. Listen within and let your spirit and your heart guide you. Let it lead you. And so the title of my talk today is An Oasis. The definition of an oasis is a fertile spot in the desert, a dwelling place with a spring or a well, a place where we quench our thirst, something that provides refuge, relief, and a pleasant contrast. I'm talking about it that as we move through this season, we must listen to our heart and to our spirit and make space for that respite. Make space for nourishment and for refreshment. That we must create that oasis in our lives so that in turn we feel filled up and that we feel happy and that we feel peaceful. And so in your bulletin today, there is a little piece of paper, and I invite you to take that out. It's a little pink piece of paper. And if you need something to write with, raise your hand and we'll get you a pen. We need some pens. We just need a handful. You could probably take those ones that are at the sign-up sheets there. And so I invite you just to close your eyes for a moment and to let your attention rest in your heart space. knowing that as we listen there, that is the place also that our spirit speaks to us. This is the place of our spirit, the place of our wholeness, the place where our heart leads us. And to ask yourself, what is it that I want to experience this holiday season? What is it that I want to experience this holiday season? And to go ahead and write that down. And then when you're done, to go ahead and close your eyes again. And to ask yourself, as I move through this holiday season, what is it that is important to my heart? What is important to my heart? Then to write that down. And then to close your eyes one last time. And to ask yourself, how is it that I want to feel as I move through this holiday season? How is it that I want to feel? And to write that down. You get to make it up. You get to make it up how you want it. And so there's a story that I've shared with you before, but I'm going to share it again. It says most of us have become familiar with the Amish people of the United States and know that Amish people avoid modern technology. They have no TV sets in their homes, no telephones inside the home, and electricity is hooked into the barn but not the house. Such a lifestyle seems very harsh and rigorous, but an Amish bishop once explained why it is that the Amish live this way. He suggested that most technology had, in fact, a negative impact on people's lives. Television was a good example. It brought violence and poor ethical values into the home. Does this mean that the Amish people are against modern technology? No, explained the bishop. The Amish simply want to keep it in its proper place. The Amish weren't against telephones. In fact, he'd had one installed down the lane from his house. A telephone was handy to have in an emergency or to call a distant friend or someone in the family. But why bring it into the house? Telephones intrude into the most precious moments of life, said the bishop. You may be talking to your children or sharing something important with your wife. If the phone rings, you will allow it to interrupt what you're saying. The family can be at prayer, and if the phone rings, you will stop to answer it. Similarly, electricity could be a good thing if kept in its proper place. The Amish in his community had electricity in their barns to refrigerate the milk, but they kept it out of their homes. Why? Because they felt it disrupted the natural rhythms of life. With electricity, people stay up late instead of going to bed. With electricity, people listen to radios and watch TV, things that move them into the outside world rather than be within their Amish community. What about tractors? If the Amish will use electricity in their barns, why not tractors in their fields? The bishop explained that with a tractor, a person can plow their field on their own. But using a horse-drawn plow, the whole family needed to be involved. So rejecting the tractor was a way of creating family solidarity. That is someone's actions being in alignment with their values, the values of their heart and their spirit. So I invite you to keep that list handy, to put it somewhere where you can see it, on your computer or your bathroom mirror or the refrigerator door, somewhere where you will see it, so that it can be the thing that guides your decisions and your choices and your behaviors and what it is that you do during this holiday season, so that it stays at the forefront of your mind, so that it can be the guiding thing. And so for some people, baking cookies is a thing that fills them up and makes them feel joyful and makes them feel happy. That it's satisfying because they get to use their creativity and because they feel like they get to pour their love into whatever it is that they're baking. And for some people, driving around and looking at the holiday lights is the thing that feels joyful and makes them feel filled up. And perhaps it allows them to feel connected to the community, or actually connected to the world, because across the world, people are hanging lights this time of year. People who are Christians across the world are decorating for Christmas. And so there's a connection with humanity as you drive around and look at Christmas lights or put up your own decorations. Maybe the thing that fills you up and lets you feel the love inside of you is stopping while you're out shopping and having coffee and just people watching. And doing that people watching allows you to feel connected to humanity as being part of that. Or maybe for you, it's about taking time out to have coffee with a friend. And that's the thing that enables you to feel the love inside of you and to feel connected and to bring you back home to yourself. Or maybe you need to sit down and have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee all by yourself with no one around. And that's the thing that allows you to feel nurtured and filled back up, that feels like an oasis to you. And maybe you need to sit down in the morning and meditate. Or maybe you need to sit down halfway through the busyness of your day and meditate and help you return yourself to yourself and find that place of peace and safety and tranquility inside of yourself. Wes Nisker, who was an author a comedian and a San Francisco radio host in the 1970s, said, "I meditate because evolution gave me a big brain, but it didn't come with an instruction manual. I meditate because life is too short and sitting slows it down. I meditate because life is too long and I need an occasional break. I meditate because it's such a relief to spend time ignoring myself. I meditate because I'm building myself a bigger and better perspective, and occasionally I need a new window." You get to decide what the things are that are refreshing to you, the thing that fills you up and makes you feel peaceful and happy and joy-filled and makes the holiday season fulfilling for you. Meditation, like I said, creates that respite in the busyness. It creates an oasis so that we again feel filled up. Thomas Friedman, in his book, Thank You for Being Late, said, "The eye of the hurricane moves along with the storm. It draws energy from it while creating a sanctuary of stability inside of it. It is both dynamic and stable, and so must we be." That was the inspiration for my entire talk. The eye of the hurricane moves along with the storm. But we have to create the eye of the hurricane. We have to create the space for nurturance. We have to create the oasis in our lives so we can drink deeply and feel filled up. Only you can determine the things that bring you peace and fill you up and bring well-being and help you feel refreshed. The things that nurture your spirit. And so my invitation to you is to practice mindfulness as we move through this season. To pay attention when you feel overwhelmed or tired, or the list is too long, or there are too many things to do, or you're really not being present in a way that you want to. To continue to check in with yourself and ask yourself, what is important to my heart right now? And listen to that and allow that to be the thing that's guiding you. To ask yourself in any given moment, or especially when you're rushing around, how is it that I want to feel? How do I want to feel this holiday season? And to let that be your guiding star this holiday season. How do I want to feel? And to make an oasis in your day. An oasis so that in turn you can experience balance and peace and well-being. And not just during these holidays, but every day you can create that oasis. Spots of respite, spots of being filled back up, spots of being nurtured as you move through this holiday season and through every day. So blessings to each and every single one of you as we celebrate these holidays and as we live this life and as we create our best lives. Blessings to all of you. And so I invite you to join me in an affirmative prayer. And so we just revel in this feeling of spirit and in this gratitude for spirit. And in our ability to recognize that, yes, indeed, we are surrounded and enveloped and enfolded by this infinite presence. That this infinite presence is the very essence of peace and of wisdom. It is the guiding star within each one of us that leads us and guides us into our most satisfying and fulfilling and joy-filled life. That we recognize that spirit fills all of life, for it is the very energy of life. that it fills each and every single one of us, for it is our own divine essence. It is that which we have come from, that which we have come as to here to planet Earth. And so I recognize that we are each being led and guided through this season. We are each being led and guided throughout every single day. Is all that is required is for us to stop and to listen, not to our heads, not to the taskmaster, not to the craziness, but to listen to our own stillness, to listen to our own heart and our own soul, and to step out from there into life as the light that we are, as the beauty that we are, as the joy that we are here in form. And so I claim and know that we are each living a season that is blessed, that is full and rich and satisfying and beautiful and love-filled and magnificent. For that blessing has already been bestowed upon us. And so I speak this word also for this entire world and about this entire world, knowing that the presence of Spirit in its fullness, in its allness, in its wholeness is right where every single person is. And that right now Spirit is leading and guiding every single one of us into a life of good, a life of overflowing good, a life of peace, and a life of love, a life of unity and cohesion and brotherhood, a life overflowing with love. And so it is with a grateful heart that I release this prayer, knowing that this is the truth everywhere, in every person, in everything, in every city and every state and every building, everywhere present. And so today we just revel in that. And so I release this prayer with absolute faith and trust, looking forward to that unfolding. And I say, and so it is.
And so it's now time for our affirmation. And so if you would join me, I listen to my heart and spirit and allow it to guide me. I create spaces of respite and pertinence during this holiday season. In turn, I feel filled up, peaceful, and satisfied. And so it is.
And so I have a couple of invitations for you. One is just that next week, if you have purchased or taken a gift tag for the family that we've adopted at the Long Beach Women's Shelter, those need to be back here next week. All the tags got taken? Okay, all of them got taken. So thank you all for supporting that family and being Santa for those kids. We are having a vision board workshop on December 30th. There is a sign-up sheet in the back. It's going to be at Sharon Baker and Carol Borwick's and Bruce Baker's, where they live, in the clubhouse where we had our concerts, from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock. The cost is $10. Start saving some magazines if you want to do it. And please do sign up so that I know how many poster boards and glue sticks and things, scissors that I need to bring. Our World Peace Meditation service is New Year's Eve morning, Friday, December 31st at 4 a.m. We're doing it on Zoom. The link is on this paper, so take that home with you and put it next to your computer so you'll be able to join us that night. It is the middle of the night, really, on Zoom. 4 a.m. in the morning, exactly. It just feels like the middle of the night, exactly. But you get to stay in your pajamas. You don't have to go anywhere. We can join people across the world meditating. It'll be awesome. We are not having a Christmas Day service or a New Year's Day service, so you can stay home and be with your families and stay in your pajamas and just enjoy yourself. And if you did not get a calendar last week, Random Acts of Kindness, and you didn't yet get one today, will you see Colleen Lynn? We have created them with a random act of kindness to do every single day for the month of December as a way to bring more kindness into this world. Colleen printed out 350 of them, and they've been given out in the neighborhoods all around here. So it was a dual purpose, one of a community outreach and creating a kinder world, while at the same time letting people know who we are and where we are meeting. So a little tiny bit of advertisement. So get one of those if you want. We've already been participating. Have you been doing any of the exercises on there yet, the daily things? And have you had a good time? I did an online review, a positive review yesterday. It was so much fun. This bagel store I love to go to. And to be able to give them a compliment and how nice the people are that work there and how great the food is, it was really fun. I don't normally do that. I really liked it. So yeah, keep doing the random acts of kindness. I know there have been people here who have asked for an electronic copy and they're sending them to their friends via email. You can do that if you want to, or make copies of the one that you have and give them to your friends. But yes, it's good. And just that we have prayer after service. If you want prayer, we have Ministry of Prayer Box will support you during the week. And we have prayer shawls if you want to take a prayer shawl with you.